Okay, so you've watched the 3 videos about how to write a resume. You've heard my video lecture. You've watched the Fox 2 Job Shop with the resume coach. His is a little more detailed. It's for a career, and it's important for you to understand that. You've also watched a teacher that walks you through how to set up a Google Doc for templates on basic resumes. Now, while he suggested certain ones, you can use anything you want as long as it works. Understand that templates cannot be changed. They are formatted templates. You must use them the way you see them. Okay, now, some of you are older and you have experience. You may be a link crew leader, a big brother, a big sister. You may have had experience on sports teams. Maybe you were the captain of a team. Maybe you were in DECA or student council. So you might have those experiences, or perhaps you have a really good GPA. Maybe you got a high SAT score. These things will be put on your resume. Maybe you're a student that has work experience. Maybe you've worked at McDonald's or Home Depot. But then I have students that are going to say, Mrs. Barlage, I have no experience. I have not been in any clubs or organizations. I've never volunteered. What do I do? I know that I'm talking to you because I've done this a few times, I'd say, and many students say the same thing. Help. So here's what I want you to know. The internet is your best friend. I want you to use the internet to Google the things you need to know. So for example, if you don't have any experiences and you don't know what to write, you can just Google basic high school resume without any experience, and they'll show you examples. You could use some of those, just change them around. You can specifically pull one up like I did for McDonald's crew member. And we're going to talk about these. So you can put in anything that you want. The things I don't want to see are, I have babysat for my aunt. No, we don't use I, we don't use my, and we certainly don't want to sound like we're a child just putting something together. Your high school students, it has to look professional. So you could say you provided childcare, but not the word you, okay? Because you can't say I, me, my, or you. So you might want to put like a bullet and say provided childcare, and then the things that you've done to provide childcare. Maybe you provide childcare for multiple families. That's what you would write. And then some of the things that you could put with that would be supervised, safe, and creative play, prepared light snacks and meals, things like that. You wouldn't say, I cut my yard or I cut my grass, right? You would say things like lawn care and talk about the fact that it was edging and maintaining, you know, uh, uh, maintaining nice lawn or something like that. You could look these words up and it will give you what to say so that it doesn't sound like I cut grass, right? We have to make it look good. So some of the things on here, it says to start with a resume summary, and it gives some examples on how to do that. All I did was pull up basic resume without experience. This one talks about any type of managing or directing that you may have done, even in school, customer service, soft skills such as professionally answering phone, communication, both verbal and written, organizational skills, leadership, teamwork, research. Now, if you're in high school, you've probably done some research. When you're describing your educational background, it talks about discussing any volunteer work if you've had it. It gives a list of key words that you could be researching and so on. Relevant skills, some of the soft skills that you might want to touch on would be critical thinking and communication, positive attitude, assertiveness, those type of things. Now again, all you have to do is just type this in, basic high school resume without experience. Now I want to tell you, when I pulled up a McDonald's resume, it's talking about these things: skills, hiring standards, staff leadership, scheduling, sales planning, production records, portion control, food safety, cost controls. These things would all be very important to put on if the only experience you had was working at McDonald's, for example. Now, remember that you have to use action verbs in front of the things that you've done to tell how well you've done them. So here it says that this person worked at McDonald's for food service manager, and they maintained high standards of food quality by reviewing shipments, overseeing preparation, and monitoring food safety. Set and enforced performance and service standards. And it goes on. Maintained compliance with company policies and procedures for food safety, sanitation, and quality. Protected business, team members, and customers. Okay, so you can say these types of things if you've worked at McDonald's. Now, again, I told you can type in just about anything. But now let's see what comes up when we say no experience resume. Oh, they pop right up. Okay. So first of all, you cannot just say, maybe you don't have experience, but you do have some skills. You're in school. If you're taking foreign language, if you're taking any types of advanced math classes, if you're in construction trades, any CTE classes, if you're doing cosmetology, or if you're in a CNA program, any of those things, accounting, anything that's different than your regular core classes, you can definitely list on here. Now let's see what happens. Write a resume with no experience. Let's see what this one says. It gives you samples of what to do. Here, let me pull this one up just a little bit more. It talks about leadership, marketing, motivation, oral and written communication skills, presentation skills. You've all had experience with presentations, right? Because we do them in class. And then this one just kind of talks about some of the things that they've actually done in school. Created a fan site for a musical band. So maybe they have a band that they just do with their friends, and then you're able to put it together like that. So what I'm trying to get at is use the internet, try to pull some information from there to put together something, because your resume must be one full page. It cannot obviously be any larger on the font than a 14, so therefore you're going to have to do some creative writing to fill this out properly. All right. I hope that helps a little bit. I know it can be difficult for some of you, especially if you don't have the same skill sets as like the older students in class, but you're going to get there. And without exaggerating, you certainly can tweak some of your skills just a little bit to make them sound better. So instead of just saying that you can use Microsoft Word, right? You might want to say, call it the Microsoft Office Suite if you're good with Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. Or you might want to talk about your ability to use Google Docs and things like that. So I hope this helps. Go ahead and get started. And like I said, don't be afraid to use the internet. You can copy some of that stuff. Not word for every single thing off of a resume. I don't want you to copy and paste a resume on it and just change the name. But you can definitely use some of these starter words and verbs to get you started to make your resume sound better. Okay? Good luck.